The news today is that the federal government is urging pension funds to invest more assets in Canada. It sounds good on the surface, but it's really not a good call. My opinion on the matter is, as somebody who has done a lot of trading, is it's bad. And it's bad because liquidity. If you trade, you know that the US markets are the place to be because there's no liquidity problems. A. B. There's companies, there's stocks that are moving. Now, the Canadian market, the TSX, has stocks that move as well, but I have a daily gainer list for stocks to help make my point. We're on Yahoo Finance here, and I've just typed in yes, this is only Canada, and I just typed in the gaining stocks of the day, the top gaining stocks you can see here. Now, something you'll notice about the price of these right here is they're a penny, 3 pennies, a penny and a half, 3 pennies. Well, this was 30 cents, 2 pennies, 4 pennies. Those are the top ones. And now look at the volume. 190,000 by a penny. That's a joke. That's nothing. An investment firm could never get into that. Oh, actually, nothing here is over. Only one is over a nickel in value. Let's go to the next page. Same idea. Oh, one is $1 and one is $4. Otherwise, this entire list, the second row of 25 names, is also in the pennies, not even $1. And the liquidity, you'll look here at the volume. It's in the 6-figure digit range. All of them. That's crazy. Let's actually go back to the first row. Did any have the volume over 1 million on the day? Crazy. Like, it's just untradeable. Let's look at one of these higher traded ones, CV. You can pull up the chart. Full screen it here. Loading interactive chart. This is just a line chart. Let's see if we can get a candle right here. Look at this. Anyone who ever looks at charts knows what this is. A bunch of dots, a bunch of dashes. It means no one's trading it. Now let's go over to the US exchange. This is just one day and isn't reflective entirely of what happens in a given week or month, but it's pretty reflective. I mean, I look at these lists fairly often to see what's trading. Anyway, the US list, there isn't a stock on the top gaining list. This is all US exchanges. By the way, Canada only has one exchange, the TSX, the Toronto Stock Exchange, and a penny stock version of that. Whereas the US has the New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ, and others. Those are the two most popular ones. Before we go ahead, actually, total trading volume right here. So the United States has about 44 trillion in market cap on the listed companies, companies that are listed on the stock market, whereas Canada has 2.7 trillion. So it's not in the same league. Anyway, back to the list here of the gaining stocks of the day. These stocks are all valued at most of them are single digits today. Some are double digits, $10, $16, $13, $17. But now let's look at the volume. These are actually really low figures today as well. This is a slow day. But still, this $2 stock has 48 million. This other $2 stock has 6 million shares traded on the day. This other stock, $10 stock, 1.3 million on the day. $2 stock, $1 million, $7, 13 million, etc. Pretty slow day, but you can see many of them are in the millions. And you might come back here tomorrow and they might be a lot higher. And so might the Canadian, but even if there were many more millions on the Canadian market, you're dealing with pennies. So investment firms can't really invest into this. It's unsafe. And if they were to try and if they were to get into this, by the way, there's a lot of people who know a lot and are in this domain. There's a lot of restrictions on what these large hedge funds can do, these investment firms. They can only invest so much at a time. And even if there wasn't rules, they affect the market so much for something that's a penny stock trading 6-figure shares. It's just untenable. It's not really a thing they can do. However, now let's go to the article actually. Federal government urges pension funds to invest more assets in Canada. Oh, I can't read the article. Let's go over to this article. It's an opinion article by the Globe and Mail. Federal government should not be pushing pension funds to invest more in Canada. There's a lot to read that's not entirely interesting. However, we scroll down and we see that AIMCO, Alberta-based pension plans, does not believe we need to increase our investment in Canada. While our public disclosure makes clear we invest nearly half of our clients' portfolios domestically, so they already are investing in a market that is not nearly as good as the American, AIMCO must be free to seek investment opportunities by achieving the portfolio benefits of global diversification. Could have just said we want to diversify. In short, we will pursue the best investments wherever they exist, consistent with our fiduciary responsibility to maximize risk-adjusted net returns. Something our finance minister, Chrystia Freeland, doesn't know about. I mean, these bureaucrat types, they just don't know. They don't know like the level 1 knowledge of investing. Anyone who knows anything, it's pretty obvious, but they just don't know. They're bureaucratic positions. They do things that sound nice, and that seems to be their whole motivation. But anyway, it's not the most interesting topic to discuss. Wow, look at the market cap of the United States. Check out this actually. This is a visualization. 4% of the global population, 20% of all the GDP on the planet from a market perspective. 40% of global equities, amazing. Look at China. You think China's a powerhouse for how many people are in it? Not even close. America has 44.7 trillion in market cap. China has 13.2 trillion. Those are the only two countries in double digits. Surprising, Japan, 6.7 trillion at number 3. Very small country, but very efficient country. Look at this. Wow. New York Stock Exchange, 22.8 trillion. NASDAQ, 16.2 trillion. Shanghai Stock Exchange, 6.7 trillion. Europe at number 4, 6.1 trillion. But anyway, it's just funny how the simplest, most obvious things are overlooked by bureaucrats, and how bureaucrats in Canada tend to go for things that sound good and are not really based on anything relevant. Anyway, that's my 2 cents.